Now I want to point out these websites here, and these are websites that are listed in your handout and in the book that you've got. But these are interesting websites. You go on there and you answer questions about your family history, questions about your lifestyle, and it comes back and tells you about how long you might live given your circumstances. And what I really like about it is that they give you some suggestions for improving the answers. And so it's an interesting thing to go through, and I'd strongly urge all of you to do that. Because what that gets you is an idea of how long you might live. And so let me talk about that. Here's a chart which shows life expectancies for men. So for example, for age 55, another 27 years on average, which gets you to about age 82. If you're age 60, another 22 years on average, which gets you to age 62 as well. This is the chart for men. Here's the same chart for women. So if we're age 55, another 29 years, getting us to 84. And if we're age 60, another 25 years on average, getting us to age 85. I'm pointing out the ages we get to because that's going to actually have an impact on your strategy for when you should decide to take your Social Security benefits. And we'll get to that. One point I'd like to make, though, is that we're talking about periods of 20, 25, 30 years. And so it's worth it to spend some time planning to make those good years. Maybe you spend the same amount of time you might spend planning your next vacation, which lasts 2 weeks, not 20 or 30 years. Or take the same time you might spend researching your next car that you buy. Take that time and plan for the rest of your life. I think it's a good use of your time. Now, these are just averages. And what I'm interested in is, can we beat the averages? And actually, the answer is yes. And so this chart shows that if you get it right, you can add 5 to 7 years to your expected lifespan. This is for men. Chart's the same for women. What does it mean to get it right? Well, it's not rocket science. It's basically eating a good diet, exercising, not smoking, managing your stress. These are things that are easy to express, but sometimes harder to actually do in our lives. On the other hand, if you get it wrong, then you can subtract 5 to 7 years from your expected lifespan. And so you do the math, and there's about a 10 to 13 year spread between getting it right and getting it wrong. Now, I'm a numbers person, so these numbers speak to me, and I think these are great. But for a lot of people, pictures work better. So here are some pictures of getting it right. You're with your grandchildren, you've got hobbies, you're traveling, you're living it up. And if you're a golfer, getting it right can look like this. Wouldn't it be nice if every day was like that? Now, on the other hand, getting it wrong, on the left is your idea of a healthy diet. This is your idea of exercise down here. And then you end up spending a lot of time in that middle picture. And if you really get it wrong, life might look like this. But at least she's working. And actually, that might be a good thing. We'll talk about that. Here's one of my favorite cartoons. It's a man addressing his wife, and he says, "If we take late retirement and early death, we'll just squeak by." At least he's planning. I hope to show you a better plan. And so let's go into the 10 steps, which I think are a better plan than his.